All right, let's talk about a challenge that I think every single one of us faces. How do you stay fulfilled? How do you feel good when your current life looks absolutely nothing like the one you actually want? Well, in this explainer, we're going to bridge that exact gap.
You know the feeling, right? It's so common. You can close your eyes and just vividly picture yourself being perfectly healthy, totally financially free, or in this amazing loving relationship. But then you open your eyes and reality hits you in the face. It's the complete opposite. And man, it is so frustrating. It can really feel like you're just spinning your wheels, totally stuck.
So you've got this major conflict playing out. On one side, you have your desire, and on the other, you have your current cold, hard reality. But what if the answer wasn't to fight your circumstances? What if it was something else entirely? The source material we're digging into today offers a really powerful and honestly kind of radical way to solve this problem for good.
Okay, so here's the core idea, and you're going to want to stick with me here because it's a bit of a mind bender. The big principle is this. The problem you're looking at and the solution you're searching for, they aren't two separate things. They are one and the same, and they are happening at the exact same time.
Just let that sink in for a second. What this quote is really saying is that the solution isn't something you have to go out and build or find or create in the future. Nope. It already exists right here, right now, sitting right alongside the problem. So the real question becomes, which one are you giving your attention to? And this whole idea, it's built on an even bigger concept. And that concept is that creation is finished. Think of it like this. Every single possible outcome, you being healthy, you being sick, you getting the new job, you not getting it, all of it already exists. It's all done. So your job isn't to create some brand new reality from nothing. It's simply to choose which finished reality you want to experience by deciding to live there in your mind. I know that might sound a little out there, a little abstract, so let's make it super concrete. We're going to look at a few stories from our source material that show this exact principle working in the real world. So, first up, we've got a classic story from the writer Neville Goddard. He and his wife found this perfect apartment, but the landlord quoted a price that was just a bit more than he wanted to pay. Now, instead of arguing or negotiating or walking away, he did something totally different. And here's the really crucial part. He didn't resist his current reality. For 2 whole months, he wrote out the check for the higher rent, he paid it. But on the inside, in his imagination, he consistently felt the relief and the satisfaction of paying the lower price he wanted. And then, get this, in the 3rd month, the landlord comes to him and says, "Hey, there's been a mistake. You've been overpaying." And he adjusted the rent to the exact dollar amount Neville had been imagining all along. And this isn't just about money or apartments. This principle works for health, too. The speaker in our source material had this awful case of eczema, so bad it would crack and bleed. Now, she went to the dermatologist, she used the creams. She wasn't denying her physical reality, but at the same time, she would consistently imagine her mom telling her how beautiful and perfect her skin was. She lived in that inner reality. And one day, she just looked in the mirror and realized the eczema was completely gone. It works for our work lives, too. The same speaker had a business studio that was way too hot and way too small. So she just started imagining herself working in a bigger, cooler space. She didn't complain about her current studio, she didn't resist it, she just held that inner vision of the ideal one. And within a week, a much larger studio opened up just a few doors down in the same building for only $100 more a month. The owner even had her staff move all the heavy equipment for free. Okay, one last story to really drive this home. Her old car, which she had just spent thousands repairing, broke down again. Total disaster, right? But instead of getting mad, she just took a moment and relaxed into the feeling of already driving her dream car. That very same day, she found that exact car for sale just a mile from her house, and she drove off the lot with no money down, realizing she was literally living the end scene she'd been playing in her head. Okay, these stories are amazing, right? But the big question is, how do you actually apply this stuff? Well, let's break it down into a really simple 3-step practice that you can start using today. First, you have to choose your inner reality. Just decide what you want and then feel what it would be like to already have it. Second, and listen up because this is the most important part, you follow the current script. This is that non-resistance piece. Pay the rent that's due, go to the doctor's appointment, take the Uber if your car breaks down. You do what's necessary in the 3D world, but you do it without anger or judgment because you know it's not the final reality. And third, you reside in fulfillment. You feel dissatisfaction and the joy of your wish being a done deal internally, no matter what's happening on the outside. So what does all this boil down to?
It's really a fundamental shift in how we look at happiness. It's not a destination you arrive at later, when all your ducks are in a row.
This quote from the source just says it all perfectly. The biggest mistake we make is we postpone our joy. We tell ourselves, oh, I'll be happy when I'm healthy, or I'll feel secure when I have more money. But that's completely backwards. The true reality, the one that causes everything else, is the one that's happening inside of you right this second. Your outside world is just a mirror. It's an outpicturing of your dominant inner state. It has to reflect back the reality that you continuously go back to in your imagination. So the key, the entire secret is this. Stop waiting for the outside world to change before you give yourself permission to feel good. Choose that state of the wish fulfilled now, and the mirror of reality has no choice but to eventually show you that reflection. And that leaves us with one final, really powerful question. You don't have to fight the world in front of you. You just have to choose a different world within you. So, what reality will you choose to be aware of, starting right now?